Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture, and happy Miro Day. The former Rusev has landed in AEW. We'll tell you everything you need to know about that. And on top of that, the next big AEW World Championship match has been booked for a month from now.
Plus, good news, Matt Hardy is going to be fine, and Raw suffers the worst viewership of the ThunderDome era. This is the news.
Now we're going to kick things off by talking about Miro, obviously. He debuted on last night's AEW Dynamite. The biggest free agent left in the game has been taken off the board. So the segment was Kip Sabian naming his best man for his upcoming televised wedding to Penelope Ford. This was promised on All Out. It was delivered last night. Sabian brought a couple of guys out as red herrings. There was Puff, who you might know from Beyond Wrestling and other indies, and there was Brian Pillman Jr. as well. Kip Sabian was like, no, go away, I don't even like you guys. Shoo. And then out came, in the words of Excalibur, the brute from Bulgaria. Miro came out. He's dyed his hair blonde. He's looking pretty ripped. He's looking happy to be there, looking like he's energized. He cut a little promo when he came out, and he said that he had spent 10 years stuck under the same glass ceiling, reaching for the brass ring. So you can shove that brass ring up your ass, brother. So he's here. He cut a little promo on YouTube after this as well, just saying how excited he is, how much he's looking forward to getting started. He signed with the promotion. Pro Wrestling Sheet have reported that his contract is for over a year. AEW have done the Miro is all elite tweet. His nickname is literally the best man. There's some stuff going on here with the wedding angle itself is an obvious jab, I think, at WWE because of his closing storyline in WWE, the Love Square, Lana, Bobby Lashley, Liv Morgan, all of that mess. There's a lot to unpack here, and a lot will be unpacked across various platforms on our network today. But for now, I'm happy to see the guy back in employment. He's got a proven track record of getting things over, and I think that'll happen here.
Exactly, fantastic news. Great to see him in All Elite Wrestling. I enjoyed watching him briefly and seeing clips of him doing his Twitch stuff and talking about his WWE tenure, but at the end of the day, we just want to see him back in the ring, and that's what's going to happen. Like you say, not just good news for All Elite Wrestling, but good news for him. Like, he seems really happy, and that's the main thing here. Yeah, there's going to be some bollocks with the wedding, which is going to jumpstart him. And by the way, if you're one of those idiots who's been like, oh, another ex-WWE going to AEW, you're an idiot. I really don't know what to say to you. He is one of the hottest free agents in wrestling, in my opinion. I think he brings eyes to the product. I think he will be finally able to showcase his excellent talents yet again in the squared circle. And yeah, another ex-WWE guy, because, like,
Who else? Who else are you going to sign?
Well, also, like, they're the only major American wrestling company that has been out and out really showcasing talent. Like, yes, you've got Impact Wrestling. Yes, you've got MLW. The list goes on, and you could just say, oh, why don't you sign people from New Japan or whatever? But at the end of the day, WWE is one of the few big leagues left, and well, if this isn't TNA just picking up any one WWE releases back in the day, this is AEW cherry picking the stars that WWE have botched, basically, in my opinion. I think he's going to be great. I can't wait to see what they do with him. And yeah, really like the blonde on him. I should have mentioned this previous to the announcement, because he's had it for a relatively long period of time, I think. But yeah, he looked great. Can't wait to see what they do with him. And congratulations to Kip Sabian. Just slightly annoyed it wasn't Brian Pillman Jr. and his beautiful mullet, or, as I predicted, Simon Miller or Pac, because I'd love to see Pac do the best man speech. Right, let's move on and talk about another thing that happened on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. Matt Hardy discussing the issues, the events of All Out. The good news, the headline here, is he is going to be fine. He came out, he cut a promo. Rebby, his wife, was in the audience with his kid. He said he was overwhelmed by the love and support he'd received after that terrifying fall and then crashing his head off the concrete all out in that ridiculous spot with Sammy Guevara. He said he might be one of the dumbest men alive, but he's also one of the luckiest men alive. He apologised for what had happened. He said he's glad that the feud with Guevara is over. He's going to make 100% recovery. He's going to go away, get himself sorted out, get cleared, and then make a run up the rankings and possibly even challenge for a championship. Andy Murray, phew.
Yeah, thank the heavens for this. It was a nice promo from Matt. It was about what you probably expected. He apologised to his family and stuff, and hopefully we're never going to see anything like that again. I hope now that we can kind of learn the lessons of this, and the lessons of this can be applied within AEW. Certainly from a PR standpoint, in terms of the way this was addressed during the show and afterwards, there are some bits and pieces here that earned rightful criticism, I think. So, I'm just happy at the end of the day that Matt's fine and that he's going to be okay and that he's probably never going to do something as nuts as that again, because, man, that was not fun to watch. Not fun to watch at all.
Not pretty.
Speaking of things that aren't going to be pretty, but in a good way, Lance Archer versus Jon Moxley, of course, is the next AEW World Title match. This was confirmed at All Out. Lance, who makes them dance, won the Casino Battle Royale. Although there's a caveat on that. And Jon Moxley defeated MJF. The match was confirmed for the 14th of October. That is the special anniversary episode of the AEW Dynamite. So, as Sean Ross Sapp pointed out on Twitter this morning, you can expect NXT to counter-program with Halloween Havoc.
That's if they're still on Wednesday nights by then.
Who knows what's going on, brother. But that match, you set the cut promos on each other. It was good stuff all around. The caveat I mentioned to this is that Eddie Kingston was never properly eliminated from the Casino Battle Royale. He didn't go over the top rope. Eddie pointed this out on the show, which means it's canon now. It wasn't just some botch that they're going to go, oh, let's just conveniently ignore that. So that could cause interesting complications. Maybe we'll get Eddie versus Lance to confirm the match. That'd be a lot of fun indeed. So, there's a little asterisk against this match, which only makes it a little bit more interesting. But look, if you saw their match in New Japan earlier this year, this is going to be disgustingly ugly, and I cannot wait to see what they do.
Yeah, really excited to see this match. I think it's right. It's not going to be on a pay-per-view, and it'd be far too far away to put it on something like Full Gear all the way in November. But as an anniversary show headliner, I think it's great. I don't know why, when I saw the thing about Eddie Kingston and then heard you reference it, rather than putting Eddie Kingston in and around this match, my brain went, wouldn't it be funny to have Eddie Kingston as a special guest referee? And now I need to see that. I want to hear him making calls and stuff, because anytime he's near a live microphone, everyone's ears sort of prick up, and only he could just shout people into submission when they're in a massive argument with their tag team partner, as we saw with the Lucha Bros last night. But yeah, Lance Archer versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship in mid-October, I think it is. It's going to be a real. I was going to say treat. No, it's not. Bloodbath is the better word I'm looking for. But from AEW Dynamite to Monday Night Raw, who had a stinker. The worst ratings since they were moved to the Thunderdome. They did an average on Labor Day of 1.73 million viewers across the 3 hours. The lowest number since the 16th of August. Hour 1, 1.76. Hour 2, 1.8. Hour 3, 1.61. That's a 9% drop from last week's nearly 1.9 million viewers. Down in the key demographics from 18 to 49 from 0.58 to 0.48. That's 17%. And 30% drop in viewers aged between 18 and 34. And just to compare it to last year's Labor Day figures, down 31% in overall viewership. People, especially young people, as you pointed out in the wonderful write-up of this story, Andy, at WhatCulture.com, people are leaving this show in droves.
Yeah, we don't usually report on like the raw ratings unless there's like an actual story there, but it could be a case of people getting fatigued by the Thunderdome concept, the novelty wearing off. It could be the extreme sports competition they faced from multiple different leagues last night. But when you look at the numbers compared to Labor Day, right? If I get that holiday wrong, the American viewership is going to kill me. I'm sorry. But the viewership year on year has kind of plummeted, and particularly younger viewers, they're saying the show is not for me anymore.
Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from, what about the Attitude Era? Who says, seeing that Thunder Rosa versus Shida was one of the better matches on a relatively disappointing pay-per-view, do you think AEW should start building towards the next challenger for Shida's belt now? And who should it be? Swole, Abaddon, or someone else?
I think they started that last night, didn't they, with the Nyla Rose confrontation after Nyla beat Tay Conti in relatively quick fashion on Dynamite. So that's the direction they're going. I'm in favour of that. They haven't really done much with Nyla and Vicky Guerrero since they became a double act. And they could squeeze more juice from that. I also think that, Nyla and Shida was one of the best AEW women's matches so far, as was the Thunder Rosa match. I thought that was very good. So it's a pairing that I like. Yes, they've done it before, but it was great last time. And now Nyla has a bit of a different flavour with Vicky as the manager. Could be a cool little program. I don't know who wins it. I don't know who comes out of that program and who the next number one contender emerges after that. It might be Abaddon, might be Swole, might be Britt Baker. But that seems to be the direction they're heading, and I think it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm genuinely shocked that Britt Baker didn't win that match with Big Swole, the tooth and nail, whatever you want to call that. It's all out. But yeah, I think Nyla Rose makes the most sense right now and build towards, I'd say, Britt Baker personally for Full Gear, but who knows? I think Big Swole's got the win, so it could well be her. Welcome to AEW, Tay Conti. Here's Nyla Rose.
Yeah.
what a first night properly in the company. But anyway, let's move on. A second question today comes from Colombian Bry, who says, it feels like the cruiserweight division needs some star power to raise its prestige. Who would you say would be a good challenge? I say main roster guys like Ricochet and Shorty G would have great matches versus Santos Escobar.
Yeah, I think the ultimate for me would be Rey Mysterio because of his history. That's
a great shout.
Yeah, I know he's on the shelf at the moment and stuff, but he's the all-time legend when it comes to this style of wrestling, man. Him and Jushin Thunder Liger. I'm sure I'm forgetting loads of people. Dynamite Kid, whoever else you want to name. But Ray's still going. He's still really great. He's still got a lot of name power. He is... Dominic's got his thing popping on Dynamite on Raw now. Ray doesn't necessarily need to be around for him all the goddamn time. He can cross over to Wednesday nights, and I think him and Escobar would be a tremendous match.
Gregory Helms, Shane Helms. I always forget which one he goes by and which one's his real name. I loved him in the cruiserweight ranks. Ricochet and Shorty G versus someone like Santos Escobar, who had a really good match with Swerve and will do again, I have no doubt. I love these ideas. The fact that they're shoving like Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali onto bloody main event though, and they're wondering why people are like, it's right there. Just send them out for 10 minutes. Like, open the show, not with a boring promo, with just like a mad flippy-dippy-doo-dah match between those two. And honestly, people will watch. It's right there, and you're shoving it on sodding main event. It will probably do a 2 million viewership or something now. Final question today comes from Brendan R. Berman Bellinger. Hope I got that right there, Brendan. Who says, ahoy, lads.
Hi.
What a great start to a tweet that is, by the way, Brendan. Do you reckon WWE will bring back Tout or launch a new WWE-branded social media service to compensate for banning the talent from using Twitch, Cameo, etc.? For me, Tout never really died. It just... went away for a while.
This question is just a great total package. Tout! Tout! I haven't thought of Tout in about a decade. I mean, it would be very them, wouldn't it? It's like, hey, you can't use this platform, but you can use this one. WWE trying to get ahead of the social media curve with Tout all that time ago, and now might be the time they finally bring it back. To approach your question, I think that I would be surprised if they did it. Ultimately, but at the same time, I could see Vince's mind just going, what do we need that platform for? We've got one of our own. And bringing it back.
I guarantee Vince doesn't realise that Tout isn't the thing anymore. He's just, we've still got that Tout going, haven't we? Just shove that out there, it'll be fine. God, they really sold that hard and it was crap, wasn't it? Right, let's move on to today's. And finally, I just want to give a mention to friend of this channel, Josiah Williams, who is back in NXT. He posted a tweet about it just the other day. Great to see him back there. I think he was a wonderful addition. Such a shame to see him be released around all the releases back in April. But he's back there now. And in addition to this, Keith Lee quote tweeted him saying, "Welcome back, brother. This makes me happy. Now tell them to let you make me a new theme. It could finally be happening, Andy."
Yeah, God, Keith Lee needs new music. It's fun to see him acknowledge that. But yeah, good for Josiah for getting his job back, man. Like, the guy clearly loves wrestling, clearly loves what he does. Oh, I mean, that's such a redundant statement. The guy makes rap songs off wrestling. Of course he loves wrestling. But, you know, on a human level, very happy for him.
And if you're wondering what we're talking about there, just search on YouTube, Wrestle and Flow, and that's your day gone for the rest of today, I promise. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Myself and the Daddy Boys reviewing Dynamite later on, and maybe even, hopefully, finally getting around to talking about the future of the Wednesday Night Wars. Plus, continue the conversation and let us know your Twitter questions at WhatCultureWWE on Twitter, where you can follow both of us as well. Andy, where can people get you?
At Andy H. Murray, the H stands for Hey Wilborn, tell a joke.
What type of bees make milk?
I don't know.
Boobies.
Oh, God.
It's my favourite joke, that is. Which says a lot about me, probably. Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WWE. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from. Oh, happy Miro Day, everyone. My thanks, Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon. Boobies.